On July 22nd, 2025, I purchased an item off of eBay. With a nice speedy delivery, it arrived just 3 days later. Because of the events of the day, I waited until the 5 o'clock hour to open it. Without further ado, enjoy the video. Alright, here is the package. It arrived 3 days after I ordered it, which is really good. Let's go ahead and open it up, shall we? Alright, I've cut up the tape. This is a pretty large box also, just interesting. It's also interesting, I don't think I've had anything packed with this material before. What are these? Oh, this is the Locomotive and tender. I'm going to take these out real quick. Ooh, wow. That is heavy. I'm honestly going to take out the box first. Why the Locomotive is not in the box, that I am not sure of. I suppose it's fine as long as it was wrapped good like that. Also noticed, this is not the original box. It seems to be a replacement box because this is a PFM model. And they have a certain box that they come with, and this is not it. Alright, let's open this thing up. Almost there. There we go. And I'm not expecting anything in the box because, as we just saw, the Locomotive and tender were outside. There it is. The outline. Alright, now let's get this thing unwrapped. You know how it usually goes. I'm going to start with the tender. Don't know how well you can see that right there. This Locomotive is, for the time being, a Western Pacific locomotive. I'm trying to find a way to open this that will not damage anything. This seems like it requires the hobby knife. Okay. Try hard not to cut into making any scratches on the model because that is suboptimal. Alright, I think I got it. I've moved the Locomotive out of frame for a minute so that I can have more room to move around here. Almost out. This thing was sure wrapped securely. Alright, here it is. Look at that. Western Pacific. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but this is a brass model. Let me adjust the light. If you look inside, you can see the brass color in there. And not only is this brass model painted, it is weathered. I don't know how well you can see it. Right there you can see it some. It's got some light weathering on it, which is nice. It's not entirely shiny. It's just really good. There's a few paint nicks, but that can be touched up. And this one actually comes with a coupler on the back. And it seems, oh, it was just put on there, but it's a coupler cut bar and pretty decent looking coupler. There's a spring on there. Let me refocus. There's a spring on there. KD coupler. Alright, I'm going to put this to the side and now we're going to unbox or unwrap the Locomotive. Alright, now it's time for the Locomotive, and I meant what I said earlier. This thing is heavy, like really heavy. Definitely. And I know I said this for my brass P77, but it is, well, yeah, it is definitely heavier than the brass P77. Let's open it up. And once again, careful to not nick the locomotive because that would be not ideal. Is this double layer wrapped or something? You see a little bit right there. Alright, I think I can take it out from the back. There it is. I'm trying to pick this up in a way that will not damage it. You can see it right there, kind of. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna go for it. Gently lift this out backwards. Is it caught on something? Oh, there it goes. There it is. This thing is unbelievably heavy. Look at that. Long, too. Like, I don't know how well this is going to like my curves, but it's the least of my concerns at the moment. I was wondering how well this was going to be able to pull trains on the layout. I know I'm not going to have to worry about that. This thing could probably pull all of my cars with that weight that it's got on it. It's got a very nice light layer of weathering. Very nice. I am getting tired of holding this with how heavy it is. At first, when I was looking at the eBay pictures, it didn't really look like it was all that in terms of the paint. Like, the paint looked like it had a lot of nicks, and it has some nicks, but it's not as bad as the eBay pictures made it look. Turn it around towards the front. And the front looks cleaner than it does in the eBay picture as well. Maybe the camera was somehow just exaggerating things. Looking towards the other side, it's also got a front coupler that's not actually just mounted. It's actually a rotating coupler, which I'm glad for. You can see more of the ejectors, the cover, safeties. Not entirely sure what this is at the moment. Bell, which seems to be steam operated, air operated. This piece over the stack, which is a nice detail. And I just like how this is kind of matte. I don't really like, or I wouldn't say I don't really like, but I think I would prefer when they have a more matte look to them, like this one does. And it has that wall shirts valve gear with the main rod connected to the second driver. At the back here, there isn't too much because it has a motor inside, but that's not a problem. Still probably would be able to put some cab figures in there. Alright, let's get this thing on the track, shall we? Come on. There it goes. drop our button going for a second. Alright, I finished getting it all down and on the track here. Let's go ahead and plug it in and give it a little back and forwards run. I've backed up the camera a little bit here so you can see just a bit more area. Let's go in forwards a little bit. Saw a bit of movement. Usually just takes a little tap. There it is. Let's go backwards. It's making a bit of noise. The person selling it said there was a bit of a growl, quote unquote. And they said it'll probably be fixed with some lubricant, so all I need to do is get a bit of lubricant, and that'll be fine, hopefully. Forwards again. It really doesn't take a lot of driver rotations for it to get places. And it seems to be a bit noisier in reverse, but I feel like that can all be fixed. Even though it's a bit noisy, the operation seems smooth enough, which is good. It looks really nice in motion. Let's back it over this curve and see how well it does, and then I'll tell you why I bought this model. I hear a short. Did this truck derail, or did this driver derail? Is it something with the tender? I don't know. It's still shorting. Let's try again. Oh wait, I think I might know what it is. Is it this pipe right here? It shouldn't be though, right? Maybe. Let's go forward. Something's catching, I'm not sure. I'll investigate later. Now let me tell you why I bought this locomotive. Some of you may or may not remember in my last model train review video where I bought a Proto 2000 USRA 080 with plans to turn it into a Florida East Coast 080. I did this because Proto 2000's USRA 080s looked close enough to customize into one of the FEC 080s. And that's kind of what I did with the model that I just bought. The only difference with this model is it actually is literally the exact same as a Florida East Coast 482. In the later months of the year 1936, the FEC decided to sell some of their 482s to other railroads so that they could make some money during the Great Depression. One of the buyers was the Western Pacific, purchasing 10 of the 401 class Mountains. When they got purchased, they got renumbered, which is why this is numbered 179 instead of 401 through 415. So what I plan to do is just turn this back into its original form. All I have to do is change around the handrails, some of the paint. I hope to keep some of this weathering on here because it's nice. The main difference in paint would be the smoke box color and the logo on the tender, along with renumbering it. And that's really all I would have to do, so it's not that hard of a process. It'll just take some time. I was originally going to do a little bit of running on my layout, but it turns out that this locomotive is just too long for my 18-inch radius curves. So the next day I set up one long straight track so I could give it a little bit of a back and forwards running with a train. And because of the length of the track, I could actually get it up to some speed. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Consider subscribing, and I'll see y'all next time.